Okay.
And you have 50 vehicles on River Park parking lot C. So, I don't know, and it looks like, that lot is sold out, so you know that all 50 spots are taken up by vehicles and that, so. I don't, I mean, this is without talking with Diane or Joel, but it looks like about 20 vehicles you're talking about. Just using my quick math here, you're about, just less than 20 vehicles that would be impacted,
30 to 40.
that would need to be moved
To the street.
to the street.
And I don't know if we have 20 in that.
Or B, we should come on the B.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah,
It's not full.
any parking lot.
A B is a tree lot.
Yeah, it's all
Tree lot.
Right, we get $500.
But if we left the snow in the business district, if we did not move it. So the other option is, if the business improvement district, what I mentioned before in our committee of the whole, the assessments are very low compared to other communities. So they're at like 1.6 to assess their businesses, and everybody else is like at double that. So the reason that is because other business improvement districts do some things that are specific to the business district that help the municipality in the tax rate by absorbing that cost. And so I want to explore that as we're heading into tight fiscal budgets. And the business improvement district didn't seem to have objections. They didn't seem to have support or objections, but when we asked them. And so by saying that, if they didn't want to move the snow, which means the businesses and don't think it's not safe and they're still getting their customers, we still may have, as a village, we still may want to have a higher level of service for our walkways, like you mentioned. But in general, if there was a medium ground, and we only had to utilize a certain amount of space, or if we, then I would hate to take those vehicles, I would hate to have the cost remain on the village, and then have 20 more vehicles on the street if it wasn't necessarily needed or we didn't feel it could be accommodated. It is one side of the street. When I talk about parking for the last 3 years with Diane, there's not that many permits that are available to go on the street, so that would help. Yes,
Just
Justin.
a suggestion that why don't we have staff come back at our next meeting with an actual map and with identifying where exactly let's find 3,600 cubic yards in parking lot C. Show us exactly where it would be, how many people we would displace, so we'll know how many, and then leave it up to DPW, like this is the amount of space you have, and so your first priority is going to be clearing our lots. If there's extra space there, then you feel like there's intersection work you want to do, or so we give them a volume of space to put snow, and that's what they have. And if it means they have to move snow in the business district, they do. If it's a light year and they can remove it, then they remove it.
I love that. I just, without Diane saying how many spaces we have on the.
We need them to come back next time to really lay it out and what it would look like and how many spots. And I agree. I mean, taking 20 cars, I don't think there's 20 spots along Oakland, or that's all there's going to be. So
There's no, businesses will have no parking.
Businesses will have no parking because people are, so I want to see how many spots it's going to take and how many spots we have along Oakland for those people to park.
So what about parking lot B, the tree lot? So how many spots are there?
That's a great question.
Because I think we received, $500 a month for renting that out for the entire winter
You're saying
season.
instead of the trees to park?
Right. I mean, $500.
I think we need to alert,
Yeah.
kind of hearing that we aren't going to require a business district to clear. There may be a lower level of service. I think we need to, if that's our direction, then they should be made aware. If we were going to say we aren't going to clear anything, they need to get contractors. And if we're thinking of the tree lot, we should alert him fairly
Well, he
quick.
comes to us to ask annually for permission.
It's a 3-year.
It's a pretty rare that we're stacking snow in December. I mean, if we're doing that, we probably have bigger issues we're gonna have to worry about.
Recycling parts.
Well, can you come with an alternative alternative for C and alternative for D and like lay it out so we can see it and look at, so we can count the number of spots and figure out where those people will go and, you know, I mean, it's
a big decision. Can I ask too, are we gonna require, what I hear, Trustee Maher, and I'm asking directly to you, that would we require the business district to move the snow if we left it in that spot, like contractors, you're saying at a lower level of service, or would it be up to them? So there's two ways to go about that. We could say it's important to the village that our you know, safety is maintained, so that would be a requirement. Or what I was suggesting is that the businesses, the district would determine themselves at that lower level whether they felt it was in their best interest to move it. So there's two different choices there. I just want to be clear on which one you were suggesting.
I'm suggesting generally we clear the snow from the business district.
So
It may not be as spotless, you know, if it's not, but I have, so you can get in and out of your car and people can get around and in the business district. I'm hoping we can accommodate it because it appears to be enough space. You know, is there a consensus on the board that we aren't going to do Wilson and Mineral Boulevard? I mean, I think that's why most people are here. I'm not for either of those.
Parkways along the streets. I mean, it seems like parking lot is a good option. Do we have consensus on the board of that?
If we move the snow, yes. Correct. Trustee Bumpers?
So I guess going to Trustee Mata's kind of playing off of what you suggested before, I would even step back and say I would leave it up to staff just to say, if you can find a suitable spot, since we've all determined, I think, that we're comfortable with the River Park dumping scenario, right? More or less, would need to find a suitable lot and come back to us with a justification. I'm not sure that we need to analyze.
To move all the snow or like some of it?
Well, I mean, I guess that's a different discussion, but
I feel like there's one different discussion.
yeah.
So another, like after we figure out the space?
I think if we can narrow down the space, and I think having some idea of where within our space, and then we can go kind of to the next step of the business district, what's removed, and go from there, and take it one step at a time.
Okay.
I will say that this is a big decision if we are going to reduce the level of service that we're providing this year within a couple of months. And we have, let's say it, this board loves to have alerts for just about any kind of decision we're making. So this is quite a big one. If you think about the impact it will have on our pedestrian-friendly village. So I'm not saying that I'm opposed to shifting the burden on to the business district exactly, but I also agree with, I think it was Trustee Maher said, the access in and out of vehicles is already, it's strained when there is no snow on Oakland Avenue. So if we have banks of snow and different areas, we have to also think about that. And as we're going into our larger parking discussion, we want to keep all of that in mind.
Thank you, Trustee Menton.
I just want to note that I mean, putting it on a parking lot, I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but it is inconveniencing people, and it is it's pushing more car. You know, it's moving people who are parking. Maybe some of them would be happy if they have a hardship lot and can park in front of their house, but whereas if we were to use Wilson in future years and Menlo in the next year and in future years, we're not really inconveniencing, we're not pushing people up their parking, we're not inconveniencing anybody. So I'm probably, so I just throw that out there so I don't,
Sure.
I know it's difficult to make a decision because we'll make people unhappy either way
Right.
with the Wilson versus Menlo. So, and I understand that, but I think there's still advantages to that. It's not inconveniencing anybody, and it's not causing a whole bunch of chain reactions in the parking lot. So just throw that out there.
Trustee Moore.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, what we're getting down to is we're gonna have a short-term and a long-term solution. I think that we're gonna figure out what works for us this year, take that forward, and then reconsider next year, based on, what we see, based on environmental impacts, based on proposals, something we do kind of down the line, so.
Thank you. I have a question too, and then Trustee McCray, if you'd like to go. So I still, I feel like we're missing that conversation with the bid, because in the future years, they are gonna raise their assessments. They're half of what it was, right? Okay, of every other community. So I was on the bid board, and that was a conversation that's continued. We approved their operating plan. So right now, all of those assessments that the businesses are paying in have gone to staff and then events. So just think if you double that assessment on businesses, what would we want to see them do that could help our village? Because there is the option to also take the snow to Milwaukee. It's a little bit higher cost, but it doesn't inconvenience any of our residents for parking purposes. I have not had that conversation. I don't know if Trustee McKay.
No, and that's why I would say that is a separate conversation, and I think it's outside the scope of this. I know it's related, but I don't think that we can manage it the way we like to manage input and all that, especially for the time and what our agenda is. I don't want to shut down any discussion, but I don't think, I hear what you said, and you have mentioned it a couple times, and I think it's well worth it, but it's outside of our control. I mean, we approve it, but we would need to do that with the bid. And I would want some time
Just
to
have a
do that.
conversation, right?
Yeah. But I think it's a good conversation to have.
Okay, thank you.
And
Can I make a motion?
Sure, and then Tyler, after the motion's made, you can talk.
Can I make a motion that staff come back at our next meeting with options for snow storage at River Park, lots B or C, and associated parking analysis.
second?
Okay, any further discussion, Tyler? And then Trustee Bowers.
I just want to make sure that we're clear for expectations and what you're going to get on October 1st. So if this passes, I'm hearing you want an analysis done that if Lot C was utilized, what would that mean for parking as far as displacement? We know that up to 50 vehicles could be misplaced. So in a scenario of that, where would they go? So we would do an assessment on that as far as streets, locations, as well as potentially using lot A and B. Is that what I'm hearing?
Just B.
Just B? Just B? Okay.
Because I didn't hear it right.
Okay.
It's a B.
I mean, because the other thing I just want to caution, we say the average is 3,600 cubic yards, but we all know what a winter is like in Wisconsin. I mean, it's not going to be a surprise if you get double that one year, or nothing, right? So that's where I just want to be really careful if we're putting together a map, because there might be a year this year we get double that amount of snow, and the map that we end up needing to do looks nothing like the map that we present to you. And that's just something that I just want to be careful about. So we can do an assessment as far as how many spaces are along Oakland and what lot B can hold, and bring that information to you October 1st.
And does anyone on the board feel uncomfortable, once we have that information, like I said, can we just at least have a conversation, maybe Trustee McKay and I as the trustee liaison, just with the bid, because if we fill all the spots on the street by doing this, do they have a preference of customer parking or moving snow? I just want to make sure, it's just a conversation, and if everyone's okay to have that.
I wouldn't want this to hold up our decision.
It's not going to hold it up, I would never hold it up. I feel like it just informing them that might come down the pipe, and we might utilize.
I'm all for coordination.
Okay, yeah,
But I am concerned that we give clear direction to staff.
Yeah,
And ample
I think-
time to make all the communications, because whoever gets inconvenienced or upset by this decision, it's unpopular, they need communication, and the staff is gonna need time to do that and all that stuff.
I was just
So
hoping
as
for
long as
input.
it doesn't,
Yes, I would never hold up, I was just
it could be
looking for some input.
concurrent. It could be concurrent.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Warren and then Trustee Marr.
Okay, Tyler, just to clarify quickly, you referenced lot B, it's both lot B and C.
If C is taken up with snow, you have those cars that would be misplaced, and I heard lot B as a potential location for those vehicles.
When it studies on both lots.
Yeah, we would never use both. Right, we would either use B or.
Or
Yeah.
C,
We're
correct.
not looking.
Yes,
to
yes,
clear
thank
too
you,
much.
that's a great clarification. Yes,
Trustee Marr.
Or it could be a combination placing, I mean, where the inlets are, they should just look at the location, what's
Yeah.
the optimum place for, you know, how they would lay it out, and then also to give some thought, if you had a double year, what it would be some of the secondary, you know, could you get a few spots and do it, just kind of an operational, how it would work if we take all the snow, continue for another year, and we're kind of.
Do you want the extent of an actual, like, staff proposal recommendation of what it looked like based on feedback? Because as you know, for the committee of the whole, and tonight, we tried to provide you the potential options, but I think now we can use the feedback that you mentioned at both of the meetings to put together a proposal for consideration October 1st. That will,
And
That's
I would do like up, you know, up to 3,600 cubic feet, and then if it's, and then maybe up to 72 or 70.
as a worst case scenario, kind
Yes,
of
like
plan.
double it as a worst case
Yeah.
scenario, what that would be.
We can show that.
And also consideration, I would ask the board that we really take into account the opinions of staff in terms of equipment access, that since we don't know what it's like to drive a truck, that we listen to those concerns as well.
And cost, if any way